My mic, the mic must be going out. I can't hear you guys talk.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check.
I can hear you good on my end.
All right, all right. So everybody, we got some special guests here today. This is Brad with Black Gun Owners in Education. We have Mr. Kingdom, Body by O Tactical, NAGA instructor. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, but I'm gonna give them. Then we got Black Gun Owners. If you can, go ahead and take some time.
Hey, Kingdom here. National American Gun Authority, that's director. I'm just here to bless the people, baby.
All right. Let's see. Tony, I'm gonna unmute you so you can go ahead and talk. It should be the same thing for so I'm gonna just mute you so we don't get too much feedback. If you can introduce yourself real quick, Tony.
I'm Tony Brewer. I'm a member of the Black Gun Owners Association. 15 plus years ex-military. I'm just here to lend an ear and give my advice.
All right, all right. I'm gonna bring O back in. So basically, we're here to kind of discuss the Las Vegas shooting. You know, we want to definitely give our deepest and most sincere condolences to the families affected by that tragic event. But we also want to take the time to speak about it as responsible gun owners. We definitely want to chime in on our thoughts about the situation, how it happened, and what people can do if they find themselves in situations like that. Whoever wants to start first, I mean, take the floor. If you have some thoughts on it, what are your first thoughts?
It's a bad situation, man. There's no way to water it down and make it nice. The frustrating part about it, as a responsible gun owner, what you will find, besides the fact that all guns right now have been over-sensationalized by the media, very rarely will you find a professional firearms instructor, Second Amendment advocate on there talking to the media, telling the truth. That's the problem. So now the derogatory nomenclature you hear is, the clip, the assault rifle, the semi-automatic was shooting all these rounds a minute, all kind of craziness. And it's become so frustrating that those of us in the Second Amendment community, we don't even want to talk to reporters anymore. People are just thinking what they want to think. So I would give you a shout out for actually reaching out to us, those who know what we're doing. We're talking about to actually get the truth, man. So shout out to you for wanting the people to know the truth out there at first and foremost.
No problem. Appreciate that one. Oh, appreciate that one. Well, what about you, Tony? What's your first initial thoughts on the situation?
My first initial thoughts was, again, my sincere condolences to the families and loved ones, and all the people that were lost, all the people that were injured. But piggybacking, the biggest thing is when the news goes out, they don't call it bad news for nothing. They're going to pick the worst portions of it, and that's the portions of it they're going to try to report on. They're going to throw out inaccuracies. They're going to throw out non-facts, and they're going to try to pass those off as facts so that, the people that want to go, well, yeah, you're right, we should take guns off the streets. Those are going to be information they're going to have, and they're going to only have a portion of that information and not a very good portion of it.
Awesome, awesome. Man, let me get back to things. Like, I got tabs and screens everywhere. Y'all bear with me, man. I want to. There we go.
I do it all day at work.
I'm trying to control some of the feedback so it's not too much. What I'm gonna be doing in between is I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat. So if you have any questions, if anybody wants to chime in or add some additional to it, I definitely try to bring them into the conversation as well. From a military standpoint, which is part of the reason why I have both of you here, I lack the experience, but I've got a lot of family members that have been in the same position. So what things do you think, from a military experience standpoint, would have been helpful if you were at the event like some of these people?
All right, and I'll be straight up honest, and I'm sure the brother over there tell you the same thing. One of the main reasons that I do my best to avoid such events, because the chances of you actually being in a position to protect yourself is going to be slim to none. Okay, let's look at it for what it is. They were at a concert, walking into concert, you go to metal detectors, you can't have guns, you can't have this, blah, blah, blah. But it's an outdoor concert. So anybody from any building can take their gun up to that building freely without getting checked and rain down all kinds of lead on as many people as they want. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Okay? And I'm not telling you to be a recluse, but I'm going to tell you to be cautious, to be cognizant of where you go and if you can protect yourself. Like me and my wife laugh about it all the time. Both of us are very well responsible gun owners and instructors. If I can't take my gun, I'm not going. Hey, it is what it is. I love y'all, but I don't trust y'all. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and I don't say that lightly because look at it this way. Hindsight is 2020. How many people on the news were saying, "Well, I don't have my gun to protect myself. All I can do is run." Come on, bro. It is what it is. You call me PTSD written all day, but I don't like going nowhere. I don't go nowhere without my gun. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I sit up in church with my gun.
That's understandable. I have some of those same feelings, man.
Right.
What about you, Tim?
And basically, listening to some of the news, you know, they were saying that this man, first he had more than one room. Okay, and if that wasn't a red flag to the people in the hotel, a single white male, but you got two rooms, then they say he stayed there for several days. So he was going back and forth. Now, each time this man's going back and forth, he's bringing in one of those 23 guns and ammo. They say he had cameras set up in the hallways. I mean, you trying to tell me housekeeping and the cameras in the actual hotel itself didn't see him setting up other sets of cameras? There's some facts that are being negated or intentionally missed. There's some stuff that's not right there, and you know the news is trying to throw the spin on it that they want, and when the facts are there, it's just nobody really wants to investigate them to go, yeah, maybe we did see this coming, but you know we chose not to because of who he was and his stature.
Right, that's something I thought about too. You know, as the facts trickle out, which we haven't got all of them yet, how much are they feeding us is truthful, and how come nobody noticed small things like that, setting the camera up in the hallway?
Speaking of, let me go ahead and drop something on you right quick. I'm gonna preface this as I quote my homeboy from what's the movie, Coming to America, in the barbershop. Okay, so here we go. The brother didn't have two rooms. He had one huge suite, and we're trying to figure out if it was comped by the hotel because he's always there, or he just got bread like that. Okay, so that goes to what we were talking about offline, me and you, Sean. Because if you got that kind of bread to get you an executive suite at Mandalay Bay, you ain't no broke cat. All right, and then we got a whole nother issue that you just brought up. So no one see this dude bring in 18 guns and suitcases of ammo. Nobody saw this, right? Now, don't get it twisted. I was in, y'all know, you see why you watch Facebook. I was in North Carolina last weekend before last. I'm on my way back. I'm at the airport. TSA stopped me and asked me everything. Why? Because. Why you black? Why you got a gun? Why you got a beard? Why you in the National African American Gun Association? Why you an instructor? So you can't, and I had 3 guns. No, I had 3 guns. So you mean to tell me this man go to Mandalay Bay with 18 guns, all his thousands and thousands around. Nobody asked this old white man nothing?
You know exactly why he flew. He was able to get under the radar. It's definitely a skin tone thing. I'll agree on that one.
Right, because you figure housekeeping had to have been in his room
4 days.
At least, right.
Three,
so, and you trying to tell me no matter when they're doing all that cleaning, nobody saw one of those guns? He couldn't even have them all in the closet and not be seen.
That's another case too. That's another case, you know.
Bro, he at least had a cleaning kit right there somewhere. Somebody saw something.
Right.
If
you know, so there's a lot of mitigating facts that are out there. It's a matter of who wants to bring those up and who wants to take that torch and run with it. Because when they do, it's gonna shine a light on the wrong end of that spectrum that they want it to be on.
And that's very, very true. Sean, I gotta give you that one because let's be honest. Okay, so he starts his firing at 10:08. Okay? Right about 10:24, the cops show up. Cops get there, beat on the door. You're right, he had cameras. He turns to the door, spray that up real good. Right? The cops is like, y'all don't pay me enough for this. I'm out. Let's call a SWAT team. So they back up. You feel what I'm talking about? So they back up.
Yep.
He go back to spraying the party up. Okay? He's doing his thing. So now we're looking at 72 minutes in. The SWAT team is yelling, breach, breach, breach. Pause right there. From the moment the SWAT team kicked that door in, well, blew the door up, okay? They blew it off because he had it right. They blew the door off. From the moment they walk in, they know exactly what he's shooting because they're looking at it. Now, let's pause right there. I think I said this in the post, the Facebook group. Don't play me a video of this dude laying down 400 rounds a minute consecutively, not broken up, but straight up, laying it down, weighing these folks out, and you show me 2 AR-15s with a bump stock. No, brother, I wasn't born yesterday, and if I was, I stayed up all night. So,
yeah, because it's just not possible.
Well, now, you hit a deal, Sean. Now, going back to what you were saying earlier, if the SWAT team, police department, police chief, release what kind of hardware this brother had, it'll be mass hysteria because here's why. They trying to find out where the hell he got it from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We can't tell you what he got. We got to know where he got it from. Don't show me nothing he bought from Academy Sports, bro. No, I ain't stupid.
Well, see, and that's the other thing too, is because again, just like this coming out now, these are quote unquote leaked photos of the weapons that he used. First of all, with this being an ongoing investigation, ain't none of these photos leaked. Okay? Ain't none of these photos leaked. They were released, and they released just the types of weapons so they can further go back and say, these are the type of weapons we want off the streets. These are the type of weapons we don't want honest, law-abiding gun owners to have. Right. So that's why they did it, and they put the bump stocks on them and says that because the one story that came out, they actually separated that and pulled the bump stock away and said this is what it looks like. They are intentionally placing this information so that they can curb the masses train of thought. They want you to think a certain way because like we were saying, those that don't know will go, well, yeah, that must be right. Mm-hmm. And that's what they want.
Sean, let's play devil's advocate right quick. Okay. Once again, I told you I was gonna do it. So let's play devil's advocate, right? You told me the man had 18 guns in the hotel room. He's spraying up Vegas. Right. Then you leak a picture of 2 ARs. One of them has the bump stock. Now, at my skill set, the people that I hang with, if you come to the ring with a bump stock, we dogging you out because you sorry. You don't know what to do.
Right. Yeah. It's about trigger control.
It's about trigger control. Now,
right.
that means that something wrong with the motor neuron in your muscles and your fingers, and you can't pull the trigger fast enough. So we're gonna help you out because you remedial right now. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do you something. You see this? This is the bump
That's
stock.
one. Right.
Ask me why it's not on my gun.
Oh, why is it not on your gun?
Because I can't say that word. I will get laughed at by Sean if I have that. Oh my God. Sean will laugh at me and he will discredit all of my levels of training. He won't come to any of my classes. He won't. But now, look at it this way. This bump stock is made to slide back and forth with the pressure of the gun with the bolt using your hand as the recoil. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, in the event he had a bump stock, there is no way possible for his cyclic rate to be even for one, it definitely wouldn't be that fast. And I'm saying this, I'm willing to bet anything that Sean and I can shoot faster than anybody with a butt stock without. So now you can now let's be real. This is considered a modification.
Right.
If I put this on my gun, it is considered. If I put it on the BB gun, it's considered a gun modification.
Correct.
What the news will do? Oh, Sean had a modified weapon when he shot all these people. Sean and Steven was in there together shooting up all these folks. Sean had a bump stock. Now what everybody gonna do? Everybody who don't know nothing, they're gonna go out and go on Amazon and buy bump stock.
Go try to get one.
You just said that, and we talked about it earlier before we got on, how they're out of stock everywhere.
I sell you this one for $1. You want?
Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't need it, man.
I promise you, when you come to the range with this on your gun, we gonna post you on Facebook. We gonna dog you out.
Right. The other thing too is a lot of them probably aren't sold out. What they did was they took them down because they knew, based on the media frenzy over them, and the fact that they were trying to give them such a bad light, they took them down. They took them away so that nobody could get one. Because once that happens, then first of all, the people who don't know want one, because like my brother there was just saying, now they think, okay, now I can get this and I can have this modified weapon and have a rapid rate of fire. And that's the first thing they're trying to take away.
Yep. And a lot of people got angry with me. And Sean, you probably gonna laugh at this. Number one, if you want to modify a weapon, put it in someone's hands who's properly trained. Now, let's run these numbers. And people got mad at me when I said this. Because I posted on Facebook, they tried to block me. But whatever. They reported my page and everything. This is what I said. 515 some people, right? 59 people got killed. That means, let's run the numbers, let's be nice. Your firing rate, your kill rate is 11%. Sean, that ain't passing in nobody class. I don't care what state you're from. 11% ain't passing. You had 500 some targets, and technically you only killed 59. You're horrible, okay? You are the worst shooter in American history. Let's get this sticker. 22,000 people out there. So we have 22,000 possible targets. You shoot, you hit 515 targets. Your firing rate, your skill level is at 2%. You fail at everybody's class. Point blank. So before they glorify this fool, oh, he did all this. Number one, if you have an automatic weapon of that caliber and you dump it like that, one, you can't shoot because you probably just bought it because it was fun, or you got it from your daddy because your daddy was on some high-end foolishness, okay? And you was up there seeing what you could do. You couldn't control the recoil of the gun, number one. Even though it was, we heard from a little birdie that he had 2 tripods up in there too. That's a whole nother issue, okay? So, because I don't see this, brother. I don't see 64-year-old man holding a 60 up like this. I'm sorry. Even your brother from Predator had that little Gatlin. He had it on.
Right.
He had it around his waist. So I'm tired of y'all trying to sell me. You're not gonna put banana in my tailpipe, Sean. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell me some food. So the reality, you see what I'm saying? So the reality of it is everything is so sensationalized. You see what I'm saying? I know Sean ran these numbers. I know he was like, okay, 500 people, you only killed 59 of them, and you had how many rounds? Something's wrong.
That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on the full numbers to come out. How many rounds he got off?
And the other thing to that is, again, knowing that he was using high caliber rounds. If he was using at a minimum 7.62 rounds, or in the civilian world, 308 calibers, for every round that he fired, if he fired at the angle they're saying he is, he would have got 2 people at a minimum on residuals because it would have been passing through. So there's some information that's not being put out.
Yeah. Also, that's a great point, Sean, because I also teach in my precision rifle class. Let's look at it this way. He was at 32 stories, right? 10 feet, that's right at 106 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's 106 yards high. His hypotenuse was about 500 yards. Okay.
Yep.
So now don't forget, gravity is his asset coming out at 9.8 meters per second squared put on that bullet. So he's got more speed and more velocity rolling through there. It's going to go through. You know what I'm saying? That in case, even though he's at that 400-500 yard distance, he's going to shoot as if he's about 360 because it doesn't have the fall rate because he's shooting down anyway. That's a whole nother trigonometry mathematical equation.
That's a whole other math problem.
It's a huge math problem. But the reality of it is, he got himself a hold of some money. He got himself a gun that you can't buy out of the store. And now that everything is overly sensationalized, he was able to use something that they use in the military or the reserve or the high-end police department. He got his hands on it somehow, okay? And now the responsible gun owners, like Sean and I and yourself, are going to be punished because all they have to do is show an AR-15 with one of these. And everybody thinks that they can shoot 400 rounds a minute.
Exactly.
So with you not thinking it was the AR, did you touch on what weapon you thought it was? If it's not an AR,
I think it was. Obviously, it was a belt-fed Class 3. It could have been anything. It was at least a 308 because, like I said, those guns. That's for suppressive fire. That's actually to suppress everything from troops, personnel carriers, and all that kind of stuff. That's when you laying down suppressive fire because it's a war going on. I think a gentleman actually hit it on the head on the news when he said it's kind of like that movie. What's the name of that movie? When they were trying to take the beach of Normandy, and when they were trying to take the beach, they was laying them down when it fixed it. That's pretty much what you're looking at. So in the movies, the real big guy with the real big gun that's laying down the heavy fire, that's what we're looking at. But you can't buy that anymore. It's not that you can. Somebody got to know somebody that's kind of illegal to get you something like that.
Right. How do you think this is going to impact, I guess, new gun owners or people that have been thinking about getting a gun? You think it'll have an outcome on them?
Yeah.
The initial burst will be to buy because, like I said, every time after one of these attacks, there is at least a 30% spike in gun sales. But then once they go up, the anti-gun lobbyists are going to push so that, everything goes down. The price, what they're going to do is push for the price of ammo to go up again. They're going to do everything they can to make it as hard for us, the legal gun owners, to be able to, have our weapons and go out to our ranges, do our hunting, and the things that we do with our weapons. It is completely legal.
Right. And that's extremely easy to do because let's be honest. I'm going to go out on a limb and say at least 85% of the population of this country don't know firearms for real. I'm going to step out there and say that. I'm willing to say 90%, okay? Because anybody who really knows guns, listen to the video. We watch the video. We listen to it. It's like, wait a minute. That ain't no, I ain't got nothing in this house to do. I don't even want nothing to do. That me being black and all. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it is, the country has been so brainwashed to believe guns are bad versus people are bad. So our only inclination is to get guns off the street. Hitler took guns off the street.
You saw how that worked out, right?
Yeah. The only reason for you to take the guns from the people is so the people can't defend themselves. Wait, hold on, time out. You see what I'm saying? The reality of it is, perfect example. Sean, you hit the nail on the head. When the world thought Hillary Clinton was going to become president, we sold out of stuff. Everybody bought up everything. Gun prices went up, blah, 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 blah. But the moment Donald Trump won, everybody was like, we don't, wait a minute. Yeah, you go. So now, these gun stores, they can't sell nothing. They can't sell nothing because only people who making money right now for real, people who selling ammo. Because the guns that they got before Trump got in office they get to go shoot them now. You see what I'm saying? So it is going to have a drastic impact on us initially because within the next couple months, everything's going to sell out until Trump gets on TV and says something that we want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And then stuff, it ebbs and woes just like the tide. And every administration goes through that because I think somebody said earlier, every year we have something like this happen and the gun sales go up and down, just like the stock market and all that kind of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that no, they can't take our constitutional rights, but the other laws and other litigations can make our practice a lot more difficult. You see what I'm saying? So, but let's be real, man. I'm going to go ahead and say it. People like him said, these white folks ain't going to let them take their guns. I don't care what nobody. It ain't going to happen. Jim Bob ain't having that. I'm just
I think that's a good point to build on. Not to cut you off, Tony. Go ahead, my bad.
I was gonna say, and if you keep it up, like I said, on the news, prior to the Las Vegas event, there was another event where it was another one of the knifings. They had a big knifing here. I think it was like a week ago, where somebody went into the school and stabbed up 5 or 6, 7 kids. You know, you don't hear them jumping on the news talking about, you know, this brand of knife is bad for the world and we need to get rid of all of them. When the Boston Bombers did this with pressure cookers, they didn't say, okay, this brand of pressure cooker with BBs, this brand of BBs and all this other stuff that they put in was bad for the world, bad for the United States, and we need to get rid of all of them. They only do this with firearms because firearms is one of the biggest things in the United States that have us polarized in 2 different directions.
Right. You know what? Let me go ahead and make y'all mad right quick. Right now, here's what you can expect. Me personally, I'm not in the NRA. All right? But the first thing that was said, see, the NRA, hold up. Once again, not in the NRA, but what you're not going to do is throw these gun organizations under the bus because one clown decided to go do something. Okay?
Right.
Now, it is what it is. So the reality of it, now, the anti-gunners, okay, no one needs a gun, but you walk around with security with class 3 weapons. We'll deal with that in a minute, Sean. I know you want to jump on that. I know you want that one. Let's go 5 minute segment on that right there.
It's too easy because those are the main ones that are, like you said, that are the anti-gunners. You know, you got these senators and these representatives. You got the Hillarys out there that's going, you know, we should take guns away from everybody. But you got 2 guys over there wearing shades and got, you know, MP5s up under their jackets.
Oh, no. Say it right. They have suppressed MP5s.
Right.
Now, let's go back. The first thing she said, Hillary Clinton said, you know, I'm going to call Hillary my ex-girlfriend. First thing my ex-girlfriend said was, see, they heard the shot and they ran. But the NRA wants them to have silencers. Baby girl, no, come on, stop. There is no such thing as a silencer. That's correct.
That's that movie myth right there. That's what happens.
There you go. So there you go. You got to understand, if the closest thing you have to relate to is John Wick on a movie screen, anything that's a gun is going to be, you know, it's out there. So everybody that has a gun has this elite training. And even though we know his Kimber 1911 only has 7 to 8 rounds in it, he shot it 14 times without reloading. Right. Come on, man. I love Michael Bay. I love all them boys. But help me out, bro. Just give me a reload when you're supposed to, please.
Oh, goodness.
that is true because, like I said, you know, it's bad when I go to a movie because, like you said, I'm sitting there picking this stuff apart going, that ain't right. That ain't for real. That's movie magic.
Oh, real quick, do you have a set of headphones? I think we're getting some echo from you, man.
I do not. I can turn it down. I probably should be in this big old room. I can turn it down though.
Let's try that, man. We'll see if we can adjust a little bit because I don't want people to miss this. I don't want them to miss anything. Uh-oh. It might have been Mr. Brewer. I think he got his headset on.
No, I'm switching to my headset because
Okay.
I can do that easy.
If you don't have one, don't worry about it, man. We'll fix it later on, bro.
Okay. How about that? How we look now? How we sound now?
Tony, let me hear something from you.
Hang on, let me get them switched.
Okay. We missed it in the chat. Lil Polo 20 said the movie was Saving Private Ryan when they were laying that suppression fire down.
There you go. Thank you. Saving Private Ryan. And I think that was the 60. I think I was 60.
I've been watching a lot of videos trying to dig real deep into it, you know, as far as research goes, to try to piece stuff together. Do you think all of this was done by just one shooter?
Well, yes, and here's why. Disregard the video for a second, and let's talk about the 911 call.
Mm-hmm.
One of the calls they got was actually from the hotel. Here we go, Sean, this for you. From the hotel, because the smoke alarm went off in that room. Sean knows for a fact, how many rounds do you have to drop for that smoke alarm to go off? How much gunpowder we got? How much?
Oh no, he jumped out.
He dropped out. Send him another invite. He probably bounced him out that thing.
There he goes. He's back.
I have to clear it and make it go back through in order to get the headset to kick in.
Okay. Oh, he got the Bluetooth. He got them special ones.
Yeah. I'll repeat it. Okay, so let's go back to Sean and I's M60 theory. Okay. You laying down that kind of fire, let's just say he had something. So he would back up from the window probably about a yard or two, just to make sure nobody can pick up his signature, right?
Right.
He's laying down this fire with his 60. That's a whole lot of smoke and residue coming from those casings and rounds he's shooting out of that gun. That's going to set that smoke detector off. That's what tipped me off. Okay, that's how I know you got a class 3. That's how I know you got belt fed, because what kind of smoke is going to have to come from this gun for that smoke detector to go off? So I listened with a fine-tooth comb to what's being said, but what's being dropped and left around. Oh, nobody cares about a smoke detector because he's shooting a gun. Wait a minute, hello. You need to care about a smoke detector because it's going to tell you somewhat of what he's shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even in the movies, if a whole bunch of guys in a room shooting, it's going to be smoky in there, isn't it?
Right.
That's exactly it. Because again, if he's laying down that kind of fire, if you're using something along the lines of an AR type weapon, you know, whether it be the AR-15 or with one of the CAR 15s, yeah, you're not going to get that type of residue backup. But you lay down something of an M60 caliber type weapon, especially if it's belt fed, those things make plenty of smoke. Not to mention that barrel gets nice and warm and toasty, and it's going to create even more. Just the heat coming off of that barrel will set off a smoke alarm.
I missed the number. What did you guys say the number was for smoke to become a problem or issue like that?
It could be anything that's in a class 3 automatic that can put down that many rounds. Okay. Let me do some. I'm on here right quick.
So would it be after like 100 rounds? Would it be after 2? What's the number?
Not necessarily. It's not the number of rounds. It's the timing in between the rounds.
Right.
That's
like if you're running a belt-fed weapon, each one of those rounds has a cyclic rate. And if you ever, like I said, being a gun owner, you fired your weapon. Have you ever watched how much smoke and residue comes out of your weapon after you fire so many rounds through it? Well, now imagine something that has a semi-high rate of fire. That's a lot of heat and a lot of smoke happening real quick.
Yeah, and it's in a closed-in area too, so that's what you want to look at.
With the situation happening, what kind of, positive can you take away from it? Minus all the negative, what would you want people to learn or to be mindful of after this situation?
Go ahead, Sean.
My biggest thing is Dexter actually said it when he started this was, situational awareness. Even though this was a concert venue, whenever I go anywhere, first thing I look for is exits. I look for windows. I look for any place that I might have to egress to. Those are the things that I look for anywhere I go. One of the things you always want to do is make sure, if nothing else, you know where the exits are. And if you can be closest to one, that's probably a primary spot.
So yeah, he's 100% right. It is going to increase awareness across the board. And I'll say this as well for my conspiracy theories. A lot of people say, "Oh, the government, the government put this guy there to do all of this and kill people so they can take all our guns." That'll never happen. But what will happen with what's going on in society right now, you're going to create a mass hysteria, but in a defensive sense, no less. Okay? Because now everybody who didn't think they needed a gun, what are they going to do? They're going to go get a gun. Mm-hmm. They're going to go find somebody to train them. Now, we say this all the time in the National African American Gun Association. One of my flights while I'm going around the country and training all these chapters is to make sure that our people are properly trained. When you train someone properly with a firearm, it creates a respect for it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Your first time driving the car, you really didn't respect it. All you want to do is go fast. But when mom and dad sat you in that seat and taught you what could happen, what does happen, and how things do happen, you develop the respect for it. You become a defensive driver out of the gate. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's coming to a point, and I say this especially in our community, not to say that I don't care about anybody else, just in case someone's listening, but my primary focus is, of course, my community, and I want our people aware that they need to be protected at all costs. My queens, need to be protected coming home from work, especially if they're single parents. Brothers, you need to be protected because, you could be anywhere and anything crazy happens. You need to know the law. You need to know protocols. You need to know procedures. All these things come into play. And I really do think that things like this, even though I try to get us out of the mindset of being reactive and get us to be more proactive, this will push that proactive narrative for our people to, hey, maybe we need to get some training. Maybe we need to learn to start defending ourselves because there just may be some Stephen Paddocks out there anyway that just want to shoot up. So here we have it.
Well, I want to bring up one of the comments in from Little Polo. Little Polo was saying, in fact, I think it was belt fed. There's a video of a woman saying that there was a pause of about 35 seconds between the shots. Little Polo thinks he was changing the barrel to the machine gun. Does that sound feasible?
We have, let's do it. We have two different things. One, we think that 30-second was the first time, that was around 10:20, I think, Sean, when the police got to the door and he turned around and he addressed them with the AR-15. I'll give you that. He addressed them with the AR-15, sent them running. And then he went back to his, I think, 60. Now, let's talk about this 60 because I went ahead and pulled it up. Sean is correct. It is a 7.62 or 308. But here's the deal. You're looking at, he's standing on the 32nd floor. He's shooting down at a hypotenuse about 500 yards. The effective range of the M60 is up to 1,200 yards. He had plenty of work. And that has a cyclic rate of fire of 500 to 650 rounds a minute. So that's smoke. That's Sean smoke right there. That's a whole lot of smoke. So,
that's a whole lot of smoke.
Yeah. And I don't agree with the changing of the barrel in that time because the barrel is hot and that does require a significant amount of
right. And he's not grabbing that barrel with a bare hand or anything like that because like I was saying earlier, when you start pumping rounds through that barrel, we've actually, being military, we've actually watched those barrels glow.
They will melt off. They'll melt off first.
So he was not grabbing that barrel. I don't care if he had some of those special silicone oven mitts. He was not grabbing that barrel with his with his hands.
They actually have tools. I know the Army and Marine Corps actually have tools to change the barrel, but it takes two people to do it. Now, I can't go with he changed the barrel because that would make him skilled beyond reason because he was one person. That would add a second person. He still had skill. Now, old enough to change the hot barrel after it gets too hot to change the trajectory of those bullets. That means you would have killed more people initially because you would have knew what you were doing. You would have killed a whole lot more than 59 people because you actually know how to shoot this thing. So I think he was switching guns because I think he had two bipods going from one gun to the next gun instead of refeeding that belt. I get that one.
That's a different way to look at it. I'm glad we got that one. Little Polo says, yeah, that makes sense. I got you.
I love the questions, baby. Ask me this.
Ask away.
I've been trying to get them as they come in. I've been trying to get them as they come in, man. We're a little lack on people joining in, even though I gave them a heads up. So we're going to try this one. We're going to try this on another topic. They may not want to talk about it or discuss it, but it seemed like there was a lot of questions and discussions about the situation. So I definitely wanted to get some. I consider you guys experts when it comes to certain areas. So I wanted to get you guys in to kind of make the conversation legitimate. You know, there's only so far I can talk with my knowledge.
We're definitely blessed.
Let's see. Anything else y'all want to add to I guess, the situation? We've talked about the thoughts. We've talked about how things could have happened, situational awareness. Anything that you feel like you left out that the people that we're interacting with need to know or need to be aware
of? Yeah, well, here's what I'll say. Do your research, get some training, okay? And I went ahead and pulled it up just to dispel some myths, right? Ooh, he had an automatic M16. Okay, Sean, here we go. And don't laugh when I read it.
I can't help it.
I told you things I'm talking about. This is why I can't be on here with Sean. He laughs at everything I'm saying. Here we go. So, let's just say he had this automatic M16. That's still only 45 to 60 rounds a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What I suggest for any of our listeners that want to get out there and people that are looking at this right now, if you really want to know, again, you can quickly get out there on YouTube, look up automatic M16 because there are people with Class 3 licenses. They got no problem putting those videos out there. You listen to that rate of fire from that weapon, and then look up automatic M60, and then listen to that weapon. Look at the weapon itself when that person's firing it. See what it looks like. Listen to that sound coming out of that machine, and look at what those rounds look like going down range. You'll see the difference and be able to hear it.
Right. Also, understand. Let's just say I go buy a semi-automatic AR-15, M4, M16 platform from Bass Pro Shop, okay? And I take it to Sean. I say, hey, modify this trigger so it's automatic. Sean modifies my trigger. So instead of that one click from that safety fire, I do 2 clicks. I'm right there at automatic. When I load that gun up, I am going to demolish that gun when I try to automatic that gun because it's going to damage the inside because the insides are not rated for that sustained rate of fire. You know what I'm saying? So here's some stuff for you. You have rounds per minute, and then you have sustained rounds per minute, and then you have a cyclic rate rounds per minute. You got 3 different things, okay, you got to deal with. Because don't forget, it's like this. If my gun is a semi-automatic rifle, and I take it to Sean, and he modifies it to an automatic rifle, that's essential to me driving a car with no oil in the engine. What's going to happen to my gears? They're going to heat up, and they're going to freeze. So I'm going to destroy my gun. So all these people thinking, oh, he got a semi-automatic weapon from the pawn shop. I think the shop he got it from was Guns and Guitars, right? He got his gun from Guns and Guitars, and he went to Sean's house, and he modified it, and then Brad put some other sights on there, and then now he shot 500 people. It doesn't work that way. It so doesn't work that way. No regular person is going to be able to go out and get these kind of weapons. Sean said it best. He had his daddy's gun. I really think he had his daddy's weapon. I'm not. It was his daddy. His daddy was FBI
Mr. Brewer, did you want to add in onto it? I did have another question that slipped my mind.
No, I was gonna say, if you have that question, go ahead and hit that question.
Why haven't they considered this instance an act of terrorism? Why do you think it hasn't been labeled that?
Who asked that question? Who asked that question?
that was me, man. I wanted to know.
You know goddamn why. You know why this ain't no terrorist attack. You know exactly why they terrorist attack.
Yeah. Before he finishes, we already all know the answer to that question.
But you know what, Sean? That's really what he wanted to ask. He wanted to ask that at the beginning. That's what he wanted to ask. We know why.
I think it's good that we get it out there for the people that don't know or may haven't. I know I can't be the only one to ask that question.
No, you're right. It is not considered an act of domestic terrorism because the person on the other end of the firearm was of the Caucasian persuasion.
There we go.
Persuasion. I was gonna say dissent, but
what if anything can we do to I guess keep the distance from people like that use guns in these wrong manners? When I say us, I mean responsible gun owners. How can we create distance from people that use them in the wrong way?
There's not, because of the fact that you can't say if the person next to you is going to flip out one day and decide he's going to take his AR and run through a building. You know, it's kind of the reason that they're trying right now, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. They want to change one of the firearm laws to where the HIPAA connection, where they actually, when they're doing their FFL background checks, they can check psychological profiles, so that, you know, if you have a something psychologically bad in your background, that can at least be brought up and reviewed. Now, but nobody's saying to take it away, because we know from being soldiers, you know, PTSD and all that, but that still doesn't keep us from being able to actively and responsibly own a firearm. But I think that should at least be looked at, so they can say, well, because normally 80% of these, what happens afterwards? Well, they find out later that this person had, you know, all of these psychological instances in their background. But yet, because they couldn't check them when they were getting their FFL, it didn't come into play until after they had ran into school.
Sean, now I'm going to throw Sean on the bus.
Don't throw him under the bus now.
I'm going to throw him on the bus. Sean going to get on here and say we need to put all this stuff in place, as if he don't know that the same CHL he got in his pocket came from the same background check that his local law enforcement goes through.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I right, Sean?
That is correct. But if you check it, they do not do an extensive, or should I say, they do not do a comprehensive psychological test.
They can't. They can't.
Right.
And it is why they can't. Right. Let's be real. If they do a psych eval right now on everybody who is documented as a consulate of peace in this country right now, how many cops gonna lose their job?
A whole lot of them.
There we go. I was gonna say that.
Now, let's go back. Do you really think our distant cousin Billy Bob, the senator, is gonna let y'all pass this legislation?
Nope. And that's why it's never been passed.
So at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. There's only one thing in this country that transcends the tension of race, and that's everybody that want to keep their guns.
Pretty much.
That is one thing you are guaranteed to get all races to agree on this country. We just want our guns. That's it.
Well, I think that sentiment, I think that particular point, you got to use it as an opportunity to begin to push that education and training that we talked about earlier. You know, use use their unwillingness to give up their guns as a means for us to try to catch up in the game.
You know what? Let's entertain something right quick. Here we go. I just pulled it up. Did you realize? Here we go, Sean. Don't start laughing. All right. Did you realize that within minutes of finding out that this who this individual was, they cleared it up that he wasn't a terrorist before they even released his name?
Yep, I had already heard that as part of the reports.
Now, Brad, let me complete your statement. We're going to hurry up and say he had a mental problem. Because, see, if you have a mental problem, that clears you of all domestic terrorism, that clears you of all ideology association. I can separate you from the pack and put you over here by yourself. Oh, no, it's something wrong with him. You see what I'm saying? He's not, okay, let's be real. Let's be fair. If you, Brad, go out there with your high yellow stuff with your dreadlocks, they gonna care.
I'm dark skinned, man. Come on now. I just got the light on.
No. I'm chocolate. Sean chocolate. You, sir, look caramel. All right? So now,
where's my paper bag, man? Hold on, man. We gotta do a test. Where that?
Now, let's be fair. If Sean had done that, he would have immediately been called a thug. They would have called Suge Knight. They'd have been like, I know you noticed. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
We'd have what's the guy's name? We'd
have been classified as domestic terrorists.
Oh, the brother in Dallas.
Micah, right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So everybody black in the city that resembles anything Black Power was under watch for that moment. You see what I'm saying? So we had the cat Muslims, we had the cat this, and the two brothers that organized the thing, they got arrested, they interrogated them, they still ain't been apologized to. It was craziness. But you have to understand, this is what I want everybody to understand. The same people that over-sensationalize firearms are the same people that over-sensationalize races as well. Huh?
I got to clap for that one.
To deal with.
Yep.
Because, I don't get mad. I kind of appreciate it. I'm dark-skinned. I got muscles. I got a beard. I like for you to be scared of me. You need to be scared of me because that's a form of respect. You know what I'm saying? Don't clench your purse. Clench your life when I walk by you. You know what I mean? Because that'll make you leave me alone. You feel what I'm talking about? So we have to understand, because the narrative is the Muslims gonna blow you up, black folks gonna rob you and beat you up, the Hispanics gonna cut you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. So we can't sit here and act like this is something new. Everybody on this cast don't walk by certain people in our, society and they clench their purse or walking on the side of the street. And I can't sit here and say it's just white people, because there's some black folks that are clench their purse when they walk by you.
A lot in the car door.
Come on, a lot they don't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. If I saw Sean, I'd lock my door and guard my wallet too. He looked like, he looked dangerous. I'm throwing Sean on the bus all night.
Hey, there are those days.
You see? So we have to understand, and people get upset, especially in the movement when I say this. We have to be sensitive. A lot of people out here say this. We have to be a little bit more sensitive and cognizant of the ignorance of those who don't know us and what we've gone through as a people. You understand what I'm saying? And that's hard for a lot of us to swallow. There's a poem that we use in several fraternities that I'm involved in. He who knows not, he knows not, is a fool. Shun from him. Okay? And that goes to say the people that don't know really don't know that they don't know. You got to stay away from these people. You see what I'm saying? So I don't get offended when someone of a different race look at me and get all nervous. It is what it is. I know I wear my shirt too small, and my beard be all over the place, and I'm dark skinned. It's my fault. So you don't want to stand by me in Walmart. I ain't tripping. But I understand that you don't understand who I am as a person. You see what I'm saying? So, and those are things that I really find myself dealing with when I'm training our people, because it's more to it than just warfare and survival. It's survival in a sense of social survival, I'll say that. Because, let's be real. There's a reason you were scared of your parents growing up, because you knew
Oh,
what could
yes.
happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
That formed of respect, not necessarily fear, but a respect. Look here, I need to tread lightly. I know not to raise my voice in front of Pops, because I might get away with some stuff with Mom, but Pops, he a fool with it. He gonna put me to sleep. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, I don't know if any of you got children. I probably whooped my son like twice. He's 16, he's 6'2", you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he know daddy will fold him up every once in a while. I go in there and hem him up, just remind him, you taller than daddy, but I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? But when I deal with him, even though he's my son and I'm trying to teach him, we have to understand as a people who we were before we got to where we are. Okay?
Right.
And oftentimes, those individuals who are looking at us in fear, they know more about us than we do in a sense of where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. See, so we make jokes, we say it lightly, but don't post on Facebook, I'm a god, and then wonder why people are scared of you when you walk down the street. Uh-oh. See what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
then we added, you see, so it's just a part of it, and it goes hand in hand with the gun conversation, because we have to dispel narrative, because Sean will tell you, a black man with a gun in society seems as a bad thing.
Always.
That stereotype is one that I've been trying to figure out how to address, and I think now that we have organizations, respectively, that exist, I think it's going to be a lot easier as opposed to doing it one group at a time, one person at a time.
Right. Oh, and speaking on that, that's a big fear too for a lot of people. Black unity is extremely fearful, because
Yes.
be it as it may, I'm supposed to be, National African American Gun Association is supposed to be competing with that other organization, especially the black organization. No. I ain't got no corns with anybody organization. Do your thing. As a matter of fact, I want to see you at the top, simply because, quote unquote, shit hit the fan, we all we got.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? So I don't care what nobody say. It is people out there who our ancestors, the Black Panthers, who call agent provocateurs, who would do their best to pit us against each other, to keep us conflicting, so we can't stand together, and fix a lot of foolishness going around in society. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to you for having us on this podcast tonight. That's going to show quite a bit of solidarity in itself, because the reality of it is, that's really what you're scared of. It ain't really the guns that you're scared of, partner. You see what I'm talking about?
Right.
Because it wasn't no guns when we was building pyramids. That's a whole nother podcast. Like,
hey, we write them down as they come to you, man. We'll figure out a schedule to keep doing it, man. Because I want to try to build as much as possible, because as it stands now, we don't have a lot of content. We don't. When it comes to the firearms community, we lack content in every aspect. So I want us to start building the mold to creating that content and make sure we get it to the people that need to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm free whenever you want to do it. Just let me know. I'll put it on my schedule, man. I'm all about blessing the people, and I know for a fact Sean is too. Like I said, what's happened is, I talk about my granddad. He was there in Pearl Harbor. He was in World War II. He was there in Japan, the Battle of Okinawa. He was there for all that. And in our culture, those of us who've been to war, they don't want to talk about it, because it was a bad time for them. You see what I'm saying? But my mama always told me, go in there, get all the information and knowledge you can, and bring it back to your people so you can take them to the next level. So that's what we're here to do, man.
Awesome.
Yep, that's definitely the way to do it.
Well, we're not going to hold people up too long. Before we get out, I want you to let people know who you are again and how they can contact you and what organization you represent, please.
Go ahead, Sean.
Like I said, I'm Tony Brewer. I'm with the Black Gun Owners Association. You can contact me here on Facebook at Extreme Shadow B. And like I said, I'm always available. If you guys need anything else, just feel free to reach out to me, and I'll definitely do my best to get back to you.
Appreciate you, Mr. Brewer. Go ahead, O.
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. You can hit me on Oliver Kingdom on Facebook. Facebook kind of tripping on the friends, whatever. So you can follow me there. You can follow me on Instagram, BodyBio318, and the same on Twitter, BodyBio318. Or you can hit me up on my website, BodyBioTactical.com. All of the links are there for all of my social media. Email BodyBioTactical@gmail.com. I'm with the National African American Gun Association. I'm one of the National Assistant Directors of Training. You will see me and Marshall Washington going around the country, training everybody, getting everybody up to par, and getting the community trained, and bringing awareness to the people.
All right, all right. So there you have it, folks. We got Black Gun Owners Association, National African American Gun Association, and we have Black Gun Owners in Education. We're signing out. We thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing more content from us.